Now, I talk a lot about binaries and the forces of complementarities. So I have a value system composed of lights and darks, but I also incorporated into my color system, which I have displayed on the palette, which I discussed in the last segment. So not only do I have a power of color, but combined with it is this value from light tube paints right down to the dark ones, spread them out so I know where my value system is, right along with my colors. And it gives you a lot of power when you're dealing with both at the same time, you know, kind of like this. You want to be able to kind of use both of them at the same time and not just see one and just the other. You have to, of course, but you want to incorporate that other vision. So we have values and we have color working together. And our lights and our darks working together. And then we have the preparation on the canvas. And so that's the other foundation I want to talk about. And what goes on the canvas as a foundation, I use simply white. And then if I want to go mid-tone, it's called the chiaroscuro, where you either meter up or meter down off of a mid-tone. So you're at 5 on a canvas, you're a sepia or a moderate blue, whatever you want to do. And you go up or down. I start with a light canvas, mostly because that's the way I was trained, connecting the dots on the white paper. So, but I've learned how to kind of reverse it and see it. That's why I've been able to do these cool paintings, and also because I've been able to come up with this viscosity. And that's the point I want to make in this segment. I have this value system and this color system, and I want viscosity, and that's why I love oil paintings. Because of the third dimension, relief and impasto. Relief is beyond when the painting dries, and impasto is as you're dealing with it with your thinness and your thickness. And another binary I almost forgot. There's another power that you have to incorporate into being a happy painter, and this is really important, is your drying times and how minute you can control your drying times with this little system I've discovered. This is the binary. It's like, do you extend your drying time or do you accelerate it? And I've discovered two mediums that I combine because one dries too fast and the other one never dries at all. If you use this stuff and you don't use the liquid, forget about it. It'll never dry. And this is your dryer. And then you have your white paint as your foundation. Now this drying time and your viscosity is how you deal with your mineral oil and your liquid. I want to slow down about this. This is really, really important. Your viscosity has to do with how thin and thick your paints are and how fast you want to do it. And I'm going to demonstrate all these really cool etching techniques. And that's the other really nice segue about sketching with paint. If you're a good sketcher, but you're intimidated by paint and by brushes and mediums, it gets complicated. Well, if you're a really good sketcher, this is a great segue into dealing with paint and getting some really nice effects. Because it just cuts through a lot of those, well, foreign logistics. and it glides you right into paint, and you're using a stylus. It took me a while, but what's very, very important is this thickness viscosity relationship, because sketching has a lot to do with movement and velocity, moving stuff around. I'll go into that. That's wet paint on there with a little bit of mineral oil, and this is for demonstration purposes only, so it's nice and slick. But if I ever want it to dry, I'm going to have to put some liquid on it, which is okay. That's part of how you navigate your universe on this canvas here. There's a lot going on here, and it's okay because this mineral oil gives you time to mess around with it. That's what I love about oils. And when I discovered this mineral oil, it became kind of a nuisance because I always used too much and the stuff would never dry. So then I discovered liquid. And that's part of how we extend our playtime. If you have enough of this mineral oil on here, you'll be able to play for quite a while. It's nice and slick. And so what I want to do is take a stick, and it's nice and slick. Let's say I just want to blow some blue in there. Just a little bit of blue. Just a line. There's a line of blue right there. Just off of a little bit of paint on the palette. And it even makes noise. The dogs next door will start barking sometimes if I make enough noise on these canvases. So let's say I was going to just do a horizon like that. And I still work with the knives, and maybe I want to just, there's all sorts of really cool techniques like that. And that's because this canvas is slick with white and mineral oil. And this has to do with pressure. And that's another binary, that's another power that's open to you with implements like this. This is caused by pressure. See how that glides right up into the slick night or day. It could be a nighttime if it was darker, but as you can see, these soft edges pressured in by an implement. That's part of the power of working with hard edges like this and having this the consistency of this paint, this oily, loose, very soft. And you can just make everything all nice and soft with pressure. Just a little bit of pressure. And I used to try to do this with brushes, and I'll show you some techniques on how to do it with brushes. And it's a different effect and a different look, but you get kind of the same softness. The only trouble is, and this is why I like knives and sticks, is because in alla prima, I can do a really, really nice painting in one day, and it would take me maybe weeks in the old days to do something, and I didn't even think it looked that great. And so what I can do, and these look better, and they take a lot less time, and you can't beat that. What are you going to do? So that's why I've discovered some of these techniques. Now, if I wanted to do clouds on top of that, so then I go back to my binary code. So now I really want to see stuff like this because I'm going to put light over dark. I wasn't taught how to draw like that, though. I was taught how to draw with dark over light, but I'm going to put light up here. use it with the dark in a very subtle fashion and get the white on top. And there you get the white on top. And you can see, if you're going to paint a sky, or and especially in water, we'll do another demonstration, where I use that white on top view of the vase profile to do water. And right here, I'm just doing it to do some cloud work, see? Very subtle, but you can see. And so then we'll start to do the water and whatnot. And then we'll start doing some landscapes also. Particle wave. E equals MC. The white goes on top, just like it does out there in the universe.